All right, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2010. In fact, just for you good people, I wrote it down so you wouldn't forget, wouldn't mess up the whole check writing thing. There it is. Happy New Year 2010. Get it right on the checks. Don't screw that up. Our first webcam on the Parker and the Man page, yournews.com for 2010. And you know what this is all about. This is the final, thank goodness, game wrap of the Detroit Lions season after losing to the Chicago Bears at Ford Field. And you're saying, I know, but they played okay. The defense came with it for a bit, and the offense scored a couple of points. And look at them. It was terrible. It was another blowout loss. Anything 12 and up is a blowout loss in the National Football League. So they didn't do anything. 2-14 is how it ends. And even though yesterday, here comes Jay Cutler, who had the 4 touchdown passes against Minnesota. Devin Hester was back, and they held Hester back. Only one great run. Then, of course, you got a big play on offense as a receiver. Cutler still threw 4 touchdown passes against you, just like he did against Minnesota on the previous Monday night. And Minnesota, of course, they're going to the postseason. The Chicago Bears aren't, but they beat Minnesota and Detroit to finish their season. Lovie Smith, who knows what's up with him. Rod Marinelli was back. He was the guy who fashioned you the 0-16. And it's just another lost year. You don't go to the postseason, as Schwartz said yesterday in the postgame after the loss to the Bears. Look, man, it's a short menu in the NFL. It's about wins and losses. It's not about improving during the year. That's for the offseason. It's about getting W's, and the Lions got 2. They beat Washington, who was about to fire their coach, Jim Zorn, and Cleveland, who already fired their general manager and brought in Mike Holmgren. And they had a nice run at the end, the Browns. They won a bunch of games at the end. The only thing the Lions did yesterday was solidify the number 2 pick in the draft. The St. Louis Rams, whose only win all year came against the Lions at Ford Field, will be number 1. They'll get the number 1 pick, and the Lions will get number 2. So there you go. So Happy New Year 2010 for you Detroit Lions fans. You don't have to go see them play anymore this year. So read all about that. That's all part of the column, obviously, at yournews.com, the Parker and the Man page. The Lions also brought in a quarterback for you. Patrick Ramsey was the number 3 QB. You can read about Patrick Ramsey's past and how he got to this point. Of course, Drew Stanton would have been the number 2 quarterback. Matthew Stafford had the surgery on Tuesday. So who knows? He's supposed to be fine. He should be okay. But, surgery on the knee, baby. I don't call any of that minor surgery. So Patrick Ramsey was here wearing number 14. Yet another Lion QB, another person in the litany of Lion quarterbacks who've never been to a Pro Bowl. Since the last guy to do that was Greg Landry. But, of course, Ramsey didn't get a chance to play. So read about that. Also, the matchups for Week 1 of the postseason, the playoffs. How about 3 rematches from Sunday's games to start the postseason? I don't think I've ever seen that before. You got your Packers and your Cardinals. So Arizona, again with Green Bay after getting drilled by the Packers. Dallas and Philadelphia after the Cowboys shut them out. They're going to do it again. And in the AFC, you've got your Cincinnati and your Jets after the Jets shut out Cincinnati with Mark Sanchez, who, of course, went to the Jets when the Lions picked Matt Stafford. And now he's going to the postseason, and Matt Stafford is recovering from surgery. So good for Rex Ryan and the Jets. They got in again. 5th straight time the Jets have made the playoffs by getting on the final day of the season. And they'll play them. So those 3. The only one that's not a rematch from last week will be New England and Baltimore. That is the only one. Otherwise, the other 3 are all rematches for Week 17 in the National Football League. How strange it is. The Packers have to fly back to Glendale. So would they do that? Is that like 8,000 miles or something? Boy, that's just odd to me. Also, check out some of the great performances. My pick for MVP. Chris Johnson went over 2,000 yards, just the 6th running back to do that. Of course, Barry Sanders did that once, 12 years ago now. And Chris Johnson of the Titans went over 2,000 yards with his play on Sunday as well. But my pick for the MVP, who do you think it is? You can read about that. Michigan State's loss at the Alamo Bowl, you can call it the Controversy Bowl. Boy, did ESPN and Mike Patrick and Bob Davie play up that story about Mike Leach getting fired, which was a big story, no doubt. It really overshadowed the Michigan State story with the suspensions. They mentioned that quite a bit too. But the Mike Leach thing permeated the entire broadcast. Ruffin McNeil, I hope he gets that job at Texas Tech. He certainly deserves it. What a cool dude that Ruffin McNeil is as the interim head coach with Tech. Of course, they beat the Spartans 41-31. A lot of offense. Mark D'Antonio still with defensive problems. We'll see if he keeps his coordinators, Treadwell and Narduzzi, in the next year. And the Spartans finished 6-7 with all that going on with the suspensions and guys getting kicked off the team for the campus brawl. And D'Antonio's got a lot of soul searching to do about making sure that goes right if he sticks around for any length of time. But 6-7 ain't going to get it done. And what a great chance MSU had to take advantage of Michigan being on the dumper, and they just haven't been able to do that. So read about that as well. Pistons in Dallas, 2 games with one with the Mavs, one with the Spurs, trying to avoid a 10-game losing streak. Dallas just got crushed by the Lakers Sunday night, just crushed. But now they go to Dallas, and the Pistons have lost 9 in a row. They're 11-21, even getting Ben Gordon and Rip and Tayshaun back. John Kuster's got an uphill battle there. And how about this? The PGA golf season begins this week. We just start 2010. By the way, did I mention that? It's 2010. And the PGA golf season starts minus Tiger Woods. He will be nowhere near Kapalua, Hawaii, with the SBS Championship starting on Thursday. And how about, it was weird to look at the schedule. Have you seen the schedule yet for the PGA? No Buick Open, no tournament in Michigan, obviously. That tournament in West Virginia replacing it, so they never came with any other tournament from Michigan. You knew that wasn't going to happen. The schedule officially released, and the SBS Championship starts this week. They take, 2 weeks off in the PGA? And Tiger's going to take some time off. Rob Parker said on Channel 4 yesterday he thought it's the Masters. I think it's the Masters, too, if Tiger chooses even to come back at that time. But he'll have to speak before that Masters. It's been over a month now, and still no Tiger Woods sightings. So PGA season starts. Read all about that. The Lions stuff, the NFL stuff, the rematches, the Chris Johnson thing, my pick for MVP, the MSU loss in the Alamo Bowl, what that means, and the Pistons starting 2010, hoping to avoid a 10-game losing streak. Did I mention Happy New Year 2010, people? Check it all out, yournews.com. Got a great couple of pieces for you this week as well, including what the Lions should do and who needs to go after this debacle of 2009. All right? Parker and Matt Pace, yournews.com. Happy New Year, everybody.